If everybody's ready, we better get started because I'm not sure how long we will have our audience with us. We're here today to talk about one of my favorite topics, early childhood education. Specifically, we're here to talk about the results of the Kindergarten Readiness Screener administered to almost 51,000 incoming kindergartners last fall. This was not an entry test in the conventional sense. It was a measure of whether these new students were prepared to engage in and benefit from early learning experiences that promote student success. In essence, whether they were ready to hit the ground running at the start of their education career. Call it, if you will, a snapshot of knowledge and skills at this very early age and very early stage of their lives. The students were asked a series of basic questions that determined things like whether they knew their name or could count or recite the alphabet. The results can be painted in two ways, either that the glass is half full or that the glass is half empty. On the one hand, about 49% of those students were deemed prepared and ready. These children were more likely to be engaged in and comfortable with the work ahead. Congratulations to them and to their parents. On the other hand, about 51% of first-time kindergartners were deemed not ready in some way or another. And this presents us a challenge for them, for their teachers, and ultimately for the entire Commonwealth. From day one, unprepared students are at a disadvantage. They're behind, many lacking some of the foundational skills on which to build. And unfortunately, too often, without significant intervention, they are not able to catch up with their peers. As a result, typically they struggle, facing years of poor grades and negative school experiences. Sometimes they drop out. More frequently, they muddle through and finally graduate from high school unprepared for college or career. The good news is that the data from this screener will provide a baseline going forward for policymakers, for budget writers, for educators, and for parents. On the state level, we'll use this data to work with parents, public preschools, and private child care providers to strengthen our programs to ensure that our children have the best opportunity to succeed before and after they start school. It's going to be a tool for improvement. We must close what can be described as an achievement gap, or at least the potential for such a gap. And we want to close it not by moving the two groups closer together, closer to each other, but by bringing that bottom group up to the top group and to be at the level of those who are prepared to engage. As I've said before, every child in our state deserves a good start in life and a good start in school, regardless of where they're born, whether they're born in the city or the rural area, the mountains, on a farm, or in an affluent suburb. The importance of early childhood development and education cannot be overstated. It's been scientifically proven over and over again that the brain grows more rapidly in the first 3 to 5 years than at any other time in a person's life. Research of all kinds have documented the critical importance of high-quality early childhood initiatives. That's why I included in my 2-year budget a proposal to expand preschool opportunities to 5,100 more Kentucky children, and why I funded numerous child care programs. It's why my administration has been so aggressive in finding health care coverage and quality health care for our youngest citizens. It's why we aggressively sought and won a $44 million Race to the Top Early Childhood grant to start improving on what we deliver to our children at that age. Folks, the cradle to career education process starts right here. The development of a highly trained, highly educated, skilled, energized, and talented workforce starts right here. And a stronger Kentucky starts right here. I want to invite Commissioner Holliday to come up and say a few words. Commissioner?
Thank you, Governor. It's an honor to work with a governor so committed to education. The education portion of his budget spoke volumes about the priorities for Kentucky, and one of those major priorities are these children in front of us. While these children, many of them will be ready, there are some children out there that won't be ready, and there are an overabundance of our poverty-based children, our children with special needs, our most at-risk children need our help the most. So I really applaud the governor for expanding our preschool programs, and also President Obama for working to expand Head Start and Early Start. Here's a problem that I want to fix, though. While these children may come to school ready or not ready, I want to make sure, regardless of whether they're ready or not ready, that schools are ready for them. It is so critical that our teachers, our principals, all of our wraparound services in K-3 work together to make sure that children who are ready stay ready and reading by the end of third grade. And it's so important that our children not ready get the services and the support that they need in order to be reading by third grade. So we will be tracking them from kindergarten to the end of third grade to make sure our schools are doing their part in helping our children and the future of Kentucky be successful. Thank you.
And now let me ask Terry Tolan, who heads up our Governor's Office of Early Childhood, to say a few words. Terry.
And thank you, many thanks to the Governor and to the Commissioner for their support of this kindergarten readiness screen. It's a valuable tool in our toolkit as we plan for kindergarten readiness for the future. Our vision for Kentucky is that all young children in the Commonwealth are healthy, safe, and have the foundation they need to be successful in school. And school readiness means that children enter kindergarten ready to engage fully in those learning experiences that are offered by the school. And that means that they're ready not just in terms of the things we think of as academic skills, but that they're prepared emotionally, socially, physically, and developmentally in addition, so that they are fully ready to succeed. As you've heard, the kindergarten screener results provide individual snapshots of children that teachers can use to make sure that they're best meeting each child's needs once they get to school. And Dr. Holliday's commitment to make sure that kids, ready or not, get the help they need once they get to school. But we know that schools alone can't assure that children arrive at kindergarten ready, because it takes families, it takes early care and education programs, it takes schools, but it also takes communities and the faith community and all of us, really, to make sure that children get the start that they need in life to be ready before they begin their school career. Families are, of course, children's first and best teachers and play the most important role in making sure that their children are ready for kindergarten. And Kentucky is committed to providing families with all of the tools that can help them help their child thrive in the early years. We at the Office of Early Childhood provide a lot of tools for parents on our website that help them understand the simple day-to-day things that they can do that help their child develop. And the kindergarten screener also gives us an opportunity to really strengthen communication with community partners who help children develop optimally. And through our community early childhood councils, we bring together whole communities And the screener gives them an objective tool to look at where are our kids in our community and what can we as a community do to make sure that they are going to be successful. So tailoring solutions to each community's unique needs is an important part of the work that we do. And as the governor mentioned, soon we'll have even more resources to devote to this goal of kindergarten readiness through our Race to the Top Early Learning Challenge grant to help improve the quality of early childhood programs and the resources and tools that are available to families to help best meet their child's needs. So knowing how our kids stack up in terms of their readiness for kindergarten is an important, critical, really, first step in being able to plan what we need to do as a state and as a community to make sure that kids have the best possible opportunity to thrive. And Governor Beshear and Dr. Holliday, your leadership has been a really critically important part of that and puts Kentucky way ahead of most other states in terms of really knowing where we need to focus our efforts in the future. So these kids have been just amazing, and in terms of sitting still, I think you hypnotized all of them, Elizabeth, before we got up here. But we did ask them to demonstrate just a few of the kinds of things that the kids do in the kindergarten screener. Are you ready, Emma? Are you going to be the leader? And so I'm going to ask them to do a couple of things just to show you what kinds of things demonstrate they're ready for kindergarten. Okay, kids, are you ready? Can you count to 15 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
All right. Way to go. And I should say we have a few 4-year-olds in the mix up here, so this is the advanced group. Okay, how about body parts? Can you show me where your ear is?
Where's your ear? There you go.
All right. And now you get to actually get up off of those steps for a minute, and let's see if you can all hop on one foot for me. Hop, hop, hop. All right.
All right.
Thank you. So this is really all about all of you, making sure that you're going to be smarter and stronger and happier and successful in school and taking care of all of us in a few years.
There you go.
So, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Anybody have any questions for the children? You know what I think we ought to do? We ought to ask the media if they can count to 15. What do you think?
I think hopping on one foot